Hello again, this is Heyde with another tutorial. Today's video is going to be a little shorter than usual, and it was inspired from a conversation I was having with my good friend Frank. Frank and I both use Logic for a lot of our projects, and oftentimes are running virtual instruments through Logic. Now, when we were beginning, we were finding that our memory was constantly running out in our computers. We often run virtual instruments, which have a very high CPU usage. And what we were finding was our computers were overloading mid-project. This can be really problematic and also frustrating, so today I'm just going to focus on one of the ways to prevent an overload, and that is routing multiple virtual instruments to just one player rather than having a separate player for each track. So the first thing we're going to do is just select software instrument. That's creating our track for a software instrument. What we'll do in I/O, which stands for input-output, is we're going to hold, we're going to drag down, till we find our AU instruments, which will have our players. Now, I primarily use Native Instruments Kontakt players, and I use East-West's Play. So we're going to start with Kontakt. So in here, I'll go Kontakt 5. What I'm going to select, I'm not going to select mono or stereo. I'm going to select multi-output 16 stereo. I typically do stereo because most of my virtual instruments will be in stereo. So we now have Kontakt up. So I'm just going to load a couple of instruments in here. Great, so as of now I've loaded 4 instruments. So it's pretty simple actually. I'm just going to go up to output here, click. Now in presets and batch configuration, I'm going to click on this, scroll down, batch functions. Right here it says clear output selection and create one individual channel for each loaded instrument. That's exactly what we want for our first step. So we're going to click this, and you'll notice what it's done here is removed what it had before, and now we have Alicia's, the gamelan, the Japan bowl, and the marimba, in the same order that we've got it selected up here, where we've got our channels, MIDI channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're each being assigned to here. And we have our outputs, because we did stereo, we have 1 and 2 selected here. We have 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. So that's half of the equation. We've now got them configured so they're going to be outputting properly out of Kontakt. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go in the mixer. Right now, this is the instance of Kontakt that we have running. You see here it's blue. When it's highlighted blue, that means this is the primary instance, and this is what we can double click on to edit it later. Here we've got a plus button. We're going to click that plus button for the amount of additional instruments we have. We have 4 instruments. So we're going to click 1, 2, 3, and now we have the first instrument, second, third, and fourth. And if you click and hold in here, you'll see we've got Kontakt 5, 3 to 4, Kontakt 5, 5 to 6, and 7 to 8. This means that in our original instance where it says 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, this is being assigned to aux 1, this to aux 2, and this to aux 3. This should all be automatic if you do it with the batch configuration setting that we were talking about of clearing the outputs. The last thing that we have to do, we want to make sure that these auxiliary tracks are visible in the arrange window. We're going to select the ones that are not visible, aux 1 through 3, right click, create select arrange track. We click this, and now you notice in the arrange window, they're visible. This means we can now highlight these to hear the instruments. And our original one should have the piano. Exactly. So that's how we do it for Kontakt, simple enough. I'm going to clear this out and show you how to do the same thing with Play by East-West. Same as we did in the beginning, we go to our input-output. We find our player, play, select multi-output. The play should open up. What we're going to do, we're going to load a few instruments just like before. So I've loaded up 4 instruments now, as you can see here. I'm going to go in the mixer. Now play doesn't have a batch function like Kontakt does. So we have a main LR set for channel 1. For channel 2, we're going to go 3 to 4. Channel 3, we're going to go 5 to 6. Channel 4, we're going to go 7 to 8. Now again, there's 2 numbers selected here because we have stereo, which means we've got a left and a right channel. This is saying left channel is 3, right channel is 4, etc. We've now got everything we need here. Double check to make sure each of your instruments are going to a separate channel. Now we're going to go exit out of this, just like before. Go in our mixer, plus button, 1, 2, 3. We now have 4 selected. Highlight these, create select arrange track. And you can double check to confirm 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8. So we see that they're there. Now let's test this out. Great. Now if you experience a problem, you're going to want to check a few things. Check and make sure again that each of these are assigned to different channels. Check and make sure that these outputs are selected to different numbers. If you still experience a problem, check within the instrument track. Right here it says instrument 1. I'm going to click this so it drops down. Make sure that here it says the channel that you want, MIDI channel 1. If we had this selected to 2 by mistake, we would hear MIDI channel 2. If you still experience any problems with any of this, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll see if I can help out. Otherwise, I hope this helps, and I'll talk a little bit more in future videos about how to prevent CPU overload in Logic. So thanks again for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.